If I asked you if you wanted to be successful, there's no doubt in my mind that the answer would be yes. Yes, you want to be successful. Yes, you want to be prosperous. Yes, you want to live in abundance. Yes, you want to have the life in which you dreamed about. But it seems like something is always holding you back. And today we're going to talk about 5 things that are holding you back from being successful. Hi, I'm LaWanda Shields, and this is Hey Sister by 2Q Sister. And we're going to talk about 5 things that are hindering our success on this podcast. I'm not going to waste your time because your time is valuable, and so is mine. I'm going to get right into it. So number 1, the first thing is stopping you from being successful is having a scarcity mindset. Having a scarcity mindset means believing that resources are limited, that there's not enough to go around. You're not going to get what you're asking for. And so you better grab everything you can, quick as you can. You better just take what you can get. But that's not true. We're not scarce on anything. We're not scarce with resources. We're not scarce with supplies. And it is my firm belief that we get what we focus on. Energy goes where energy flows. Wherever you are focusing the majority of your attention, that's where the energy is going to go. And we know life in general is nothing but energy. And so we don't want our energy to flow into poverty. We don't want our energy flowing into scarcity. We want our life to be centered around prosperity and not scarcity. We don't want to be scraping for every little thing. I'm often reminded of animals when wintertime is coming. Right before winter, they'll start to store up. They'll start gathering these little nuts and fruits and packing away all of this stuff for the scarce time when winter comes. And they're right to do that because winter is coming. But because they're doing all that, they are thinking as if, because it's not going to be anything. But we don't have to do that. We need to get our mind focused off of scarcity and start to think more in a prosperity mindset. And one of the things that people do when they're thinking in a scarcity mindset is they try to hoard everything. They try to get everything. They don't want to share. And let me tell you something, ladies, and if there's some gentlemen watching too, we can't hoard everything. We have to help. We have to learn how to help each other. We have to learn that there's more than enough. And I learned that from Louise Hay, and I'll say that over and over again. And once she said it, I thought about it, and that became ingrained in my mind. It was phenomenal. There is more than enough. She said, go to the ocean. Look at the ocean. She said, it doesn't matter what you take out there. She said, you can take a bucket, you can take a thimble, you can take a pipeline, whatever you want to take to the ocean and go and begin to try to drain the ocean. She said, it's more than enough. You're not going to run out of water. And I said, oh my God, what a phenomenal realization. She's right. You're not going to run out of ocean, even if you take a pipeline and start trying to drain. It comes back over and over again. It's so vast. And when I was standing out at Orange Beach and I was looking at all that water, and I said, oh my goodness, it went on for miles and miles and miles and miles with no end. And I was like, okay, point taken. We don't have to have a scarcity mindset. We have to train ourselves that we can have whatever it is that we need. God has enough for us. We don't have to think in the area of lack. We don't have to be thinking from a mindset of lack because we are lacking nothing. If we want it, there's a way that we can have it, and we have to start thinking that way. We have to stop thinking in scarcity. And scarcity mindset and a poverty mindset go hand in hand. Poverty is you don't have anything, you are barely surviving. And that is not true. We are not in poverty. We are not barely surviving. If you are, I apologize right now if you're in poverty. Let me tell you a secret. Poverty begets poverty. So what do I mean? If you're poor, chances are you're going to stay poor until you get your mind out of the poverty mindset, until you begin to think abundantly, until you begin to think about all of the things that you can have, all the resources that are available to you that you can turn around and make them make you make money. You know, I look at kids that come to school, this is just me, or that show up and they have nothing. Their little jeans and stuff are not the best. Their little shirts are dingy. But then I look down at their shoes, and they have on tennis shoes that cost $200 and $300, and I'm like, okay, your priorities are in the wrong place. You don't have pencils. You don't have ink pens. You don't have paper. You just have enough to make it, but you'll come to school with some tennis shoes on that are so expensive. Was that a good investment of your money? No, it was not. And so I had to realize that their parents are doing this because, like I just said, first of all, their priorities in the wrong setting. And that's an act of poverty. People with poverty mindsets do this. They are not really thinking about what they're doing. They're just responding. And so we don't want to do that. So the next thing that is hindering us from being successful is blaming other people. We can't spend all day blaming someone else for the things that are wrong in our lives. It's not them. I used to say it's not you, it's me. Well, it's true, it's not them. It's not them, it's you. It's you. You are your own worst enemy. You are the person that have made the decisions you made. You're the person that's taken the actions that you've taken. All of it is you. You can always say, well, somebody made me do this. No, they may have influenced you, but you made those decisions. So we have to learn to speak up for ourselves, and we definitely have to stop blaming other people for our mistakes or for the life in which we are living. We are the captain of our own ship. And as such, we have to take blame ourselves. We can't spend all day, like I said, looking at somebody else and saying, well, they're the reason I'm not successful. They're the reason this happened. They're the reason that happened. No, take responsibility for your own actions. Next, I want us to stop focusing on past failures. Yes, you messed up. All of us have messed up at one time, but that doesn't give us permission to wallow in shame. That doesn't give us permission to wallow in the past, to just wallow in the hog pen. Get your butt up, shake yourself off, get yourself ready, and let's go. We have to move forward, not backwards. We cannot spend our time focusing on past mistakes or past errors. Those mistakes have come and gone, and it's time to move on to something else. They might have been some big mistakes. We've all made mistakes, big mistakes. My mom once told me, she said, you can't drive a car looking back. She said, if you go hop out there and get in that vehicle, and if you're looking back and you're trying to drive, she said, you're going to hit something. And I said, you know what? She said, so you have to let the past go. We can't spend all day looking back at the past. We can't just, oh, well, this happened, that happened. And it happened 20 years ago. 20. It's time to move on. Release the past. Stop blaming others. Get rid of that scarcity and that poverty mindset. The next thing that's holding us back from being successful is not being willing to invest in ourselves. Oh my gosh, this is probably number one. Not being willing to invest in us. Not wanting to take the time to learn the things we need to learn. Not wanting to spend the money. I don't know about other people, but I know most of us don't want to spend money. My goodness, if my son told me this years ago, he was in high school, and I realized now he probably was a genius, and I just didn't know it, but he was driving me nuts because he would do all this crazy stuff. But one of the things he told me, he said, Mama, it takes money to make money. And I said, yes, son, yes, Damon, it does. But if you don't have any money, he kept telling me, he said, well, take the money you haven't invested in you, invest in this, invest in that. I said, well, Damon, I can't, the lights will be cut off. And so, but I realize now that he was making a perfect point. You have to invest in yourself. Find that little spare change, because now I look at $20, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100. You know what? This is money that I would go blow in Walmart anyway, and it would take me long to do it. I can't afford to invest in me because I can't afford not to invest in me, and neither can you. You have to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Let me tell you something. There are 2 apps that you can use to start investing. Well, 2 that I use. And no, they're not paying me. I'm not an affiliate. I'm not associated with them at all, except I use their apps. Cash App and Robinhood. You can self-invest it for beginners. Invest some money. Take that $5, $10, $20, $30 that you're going to go drink up on a latte at Starbucks. Invest in your education. Invest in learning. Take that class. I had some classes I had been looking at. I wanted to take. They kept advertising. I really want to do that, but I didn't want to spend the money. One class was $300-something. Well, all three of the ones I'm taking at the moment were $300-something. I wanted to take these classes, but I didn't want to pay the money. I could not figure out how I was going to get the money to pay for the classes. And so for a while, I didn't take them. But thanks be to Almighty, He made a way for me to have the funds. And I took those classes, and I'm so thankful. One was a class on Pinterest. The other one was a class on blogging. And the other one was a class on email marketing. I promise you, spend the money on yourself. It's a worthwhile investment. I spent another class I'm taking was on financial consulting. Take your money. Take that money that you're going to waste anyway and invest it in yourself. You are worth investing that nice outfit for that job interview. Don't just show up dressed any kind of way. Get you something nice and show up. Show up as your best self. And a part of being your best self is getting that education, getting that degree, getting that learning. I'm not telling you to go off and take a college class. I'm telling you to invest in you. Invest in your business. Invest in what you need in order for you to start making more money, for you to be your best self. And I'm not a believer in that saying that money is the root of all evil, because money is not the root of all evil. Money allows us to do more and be more. And one of the ways that we do more and be more, we can do more for our community. We can do more for our churches. If you go to church or whatever your place of worship is, whatever your project is, money allows us to be able to do more of it. So invest in you. Spend the money. I went ahead and spent the money. I used to tell people this all the time when they would get in legal trouble. I don't know. And it's like going to court and you're going to depend. You're on one of those serious charges and you're going to wait on the public defender. Really? Sometimes you'll get somebody good, but most of the time you're not. Your best bet, pay the money. Get you a real lawyer. Spend the money on yourself. You're worth it. Okay? Invest in you. Take that money, put it back into you. And as the money grows in, you can get the money. The next thing I'm going to tell you, and this is my last one, stop micromanaging. If you hire somebody to do a job for you, stop feeling like you have to be the one to do everything, that you have to be there 24/7 to see what's going on. Take your hands off of it. Let it go. Let those people do what they're supposed to do. And you step back and step into that managerial position and stop trying to be the be all, end all, do it all, Mr. Fix It. You quit. So keep that in mind. These are some things that are hindering you from being successful. And we're going to stop doing that, because we're going to be the best us that we can, because we're going to change our scarcity and poverty mindset. We're going to stop blaming others. We're going to stop looking back and focusing on our past mistakes. We're going to stop refusing to invest in ourselves. And we are definitely going to stop micromanaging. And I thank you guys so much for listening. It's been LaWanda Shields with Hey Sister by 2Q Sister. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast.